someone's listening to this thinking, okay, I need to get my strength game up. I need to do this. What would be like, I don't know, 3 to 5 exercises or whatever that you would recommend them implement? And what frequency would you recommend that for them?
Yeah, I recommend strength training 2 to 3 times a week. If you are running, I think all runners need to strength train, especially if, it doesn't matter your pace, doesn't matter your experience. You just got to start somewhere. I think ideally as runners, we do want to progress into unilateral exercises or single leg exercises. But if you think about a couple exercises that you could do, this could be with or without weights, but push-ups are a great one to do for your arms. You need strong arms to run strong. I think deadlifts are great, squats, lunges, any sort of like jumping, even jumping rope is really, really good for running because it allows you to develop that Achilles springiness, I call it, or elasticity, and like that Achilles power. And then like side planks are always good. Planks are always good for the core. I don't know the last time I've done a crunch. So you don't need to do any crunches.
I think crunches are so overrated. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't think they're like, people say, oh, just do lots of crunches. No, they don't actually, I don't think they even make that much of a difference. They hurt your back. You've got to lie on the ground. Just not keen. Just not keen.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like a lot of tension in my neck and like carry it in my upper traps. And anytime I do a crunch, I feel like I'm just like straining my neck and I'm like, yeah, we're not doing this. I'm also I'm not aiming for a 6-pack here. So we're good. We can skip that.
I honestly don't think crunches, I don't think they do anything. I think they just make you think you've done your core. No, not a fan. My favorite one at the moment is rollouts. They're horrible, but
I have definitely. Are you using that little device, like the tool where you roll out? Oh my
you're
gosh!
like, am I going to fall on my face? Am I not? Oh, I'm back.
I might even still have a scar. I definitely busted my chin in a sporting goods store doing that with my brother when we were younger on tile floor.
Oh, that's
like, we have to go, Mom.
Yeah, that's the thing, I guess, because it works on a wheel. If you're on a tile, it just shoots out and off.
Yeah. I guess my core was a little bit weaker then.
Or you just went in full pelt. You just committed.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't have one of those, so now you know why. But they are really good.
Such a mixed review on the rollout tool. Like, not for me, but they're good.
Yeah, do it at your own risk.
Not endorsed on this podcast by anyone.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about people who run into their 60s and 70s and, as we get older, we lose our muscle mass and all this kind of stuff. But how can people, what can people do to give them the best chance of being able to run when they're old?
I think it's doing the same, if you ran when you were younger and now you're older, I think it's doing the same routine, but just having different expectations. I think, a lot of older people that I work with are like, I'm not as young as I used to. And this is very true. So we need to adjust those expectations. And that might mean that, you are careful of doing a speed workout in on a hot day or something like that. Like you're just looking at your heart rate a little bit more, monitoring your heart rate, giving yourself a little bit more time in between, your speed reps, whatever it is. I think just being a little bit more aware of how you're feeling. And this is true for any age, if we're being honest, but make sure that you're not lying to yourself about how you're feeling. I do catch a lot of older people doing this where they're like, I'm fine. It's like, you don't look fine. Like, what's going on here? We got to be honest with ourselves in order to find the best route that we're going to go down, So I think, you should still be strength training. You should still be doing mobility. You should still be running based on how you're feeling, based on effort. All of those things are still true. You should still be fueling, sleeping, like nothing really changes. But I will say, like, I'm 30 now. So when I was in my 20s, I could get away with, not stretching or like, kind of doing like the bare minimum, it seemed like. And I felt fine, but you can't necessarily do that when you're older. Your joints stiffen up a little bit faster after a run. So you just have to be more careful and more aware of how you're feeling.
I know it's probably really annoying as a physio, but I do love the thought of like a 70-year-old person like lying, like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yes. Yep.
Crucial.
It's like, are you?
I don't think you are, but cool.
Yeah. Exactly.